why do we celebrate the next victory, but completely forget the journey that got us there? Seriously, it's a habit we all seem to share, right? We're always rushing to the next goal, the next big milestone, the next problem to solve, all while completely blowing right past the hard-fought battles we've already won. Now, when you actually open up the biblical text to today's chapter, Joshua 12, you might be a little surprised. See, it isn't this epic, action-packed battle narrative. It's a list. Frankly, it reads a bit like an ancient spreadsheet. It's the kind of chapter most people just skip right over to get to the good stuff. Just a list of kings, a list of victories. But I want to flip the script for a second. What if the list is the lesson? What if this seemingly boring record of conquered territories is exactly the lesson we need to understand gratitude and the psychology of memory? What if pausing to actually list out our victories is the true secret to moving forward with confidence? To anchor our exploration today, we're drawing from the English Standard Version of the Bible, which preserves this history with just incredible accuracy. This grounds our whole explainer in the majestic, historical reality of the biblical text. We are talking about real ancient Near Eastern kings, real territories, and actual hard-fought victories by the people of Israel. Lens 1. The chapter overview and literal lens. So on a literal level, this chapter meticulously documents the kings defeated by Israel, and it leaves absolutely nothing out. Notice how it contrasts the geography and the leadership of these victories. First, it looks back at the victories east of the Jordan River under Moses. If you remember from earlier biblical history, this included these massive, intimidating opponents like Sihon, king of the Amorites, and Og, king of Bashan. Then the text pivots to the victories west of the Jordan under Joshua's leadership. It basically creates this comprehensive map connecting past triumphs directly to present realities. And that brings us to this monumental number, 31. The chapter meticulously lists 31 kings defeated. Guys, that is 31 literal reminders that God has been faithful every single step of the way. This chapter isn't just about numbers. It's about the deliberate, intentional act of remembering. Lens 2, the allegorical lens. So, how do the conquests of ancient Israel translate to our modern lives? Well, in this framework, every single defeated king transforms into a symbol of our own past battles. Think about it. Our lives contain all these victories that we rarely, if ever, revisit. We overcome a massive hurdle, take one deep breath, and instantly start stressing about the next one. But these defeated ancient kings, they remind us that yesterday's faithfulness builds tomorrow's confidence. Every obstacle you've overcome is a defeated king that proves you have the resilience to keep going. Lens 3, the anagogical perspective. This eternal perspective intersects just beautifully with the literal text. God's promises don't just unfold in abstract, overly spiritualized concepts. No, they unfold through real places, real people, and real history. Joshua 12 is this monumental testament to God's enduring faithfulness. It proves, without a doubt, that he completes what he begins. And you know what? That track record deeply deserves to be remembered. Lens 4, the moral and psychological lens. This text completely exposes the stark reality of the human negativity bias. Our brains just remember problems way more easily than victories. We replay our failures effortlessly, right? They just loop in our minds late at night. Yet we completely overlook our progress. We treat our victories as these fleeting little moments rather than foundational truths. To counter that biological bias, we have to look to wisdom. Wise people keep a record of God's faithfulness. Our gratitude naturally grows when we intentionally remember exactly how far we've come. By writing down our own Joshua 12 list, we actively break that cycle of negative memory and literally retrain our brains to see the evidence of our progress. Lens 5, wisdom for modern life. So how do we take a list of 31 ancient kings and use it to transform our week? Let me guide you through 3 concrete steps to break the habit of rushing so quickly toward the next goal that you forget what you've already overcome. Step 1, celebrate milestones. When you finish a tough project or survive a hard season, pause and actually acknowledge it. Step 2, record progress. Literally write it down. Make your own list of victories. And step 3, reflect often. Review that list when you feel totally overwhelmed by what's standing in front of you. Now, I want to make sure we view this correctly. Remind yourself that keeping this record isn't about arrogance at all. Your past victories aren't reasons for pride. Actually, they are reasons for confidence. They are the absolute vital fuel for future courage. When you face your next giant, your list proves that you have defeated giants before. 1. Wisdom. Remembering God's faithfulness gives us courage for the battles still ahead. That is the whole point of this list. The entire purpose of looking backward is to give you exactly what you need to move forward. Reflection questions. Before we close up here, let's apply this directly to your own journey. Question 1. What victory have you forgotten to celebrate? Take a moment right now and think about an uncelebrated milestone in your life. What is something you survived, accomplished, or overcame that you just rushed right past? Question 2. How has looking back strengthened your faith before? Dig into your own memory for a second. When was a time that finding past evidence of your own resilience and God's faithfulness to you helped you get through a really difficult valley?
And finally, a challenge for immediate action. Question 3. What evidence of God's faithfulness could you record today? Success leaves clues, and your life is full of them. I highly encourage you to start making your list right now. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer in the 1189 Bible Wisdom series. Keep learning, keep reflecting, and I'll see you in our next explainer.